All right, just bear with me for a minute or two till I get set up here. I'm trying to get my comments up. There we go. I think I'm okay. We will just wait a moment or two and see who follows us in over here. All right. We are just going to wait a couple of minutes until my girls get back over here. And I'm going to try to alleviate a little bit of shadowing if I can. All right, there's Miss Carol. She found me. Volume okay here, Carol? Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm just going to wait a couple seconds to see if there's any of our regular girls that are going to pop on over here. I don't want to start until I just give them a minute or two to get over here. Hopefully I've got my camera adjusted properly now so that I'm not going to be off camera. Sorry about that. In the last video I wasn't watching the comments close enough. I was watching what I was doing. All right, I see somebody else just popped on. I'm guessing that may be Michelle or Melanie. All right, ladies, we are going to try something together. And yes, there's a reason that we're doing this in the VIP group, because we're going to be using water painters. And if I've never used water painters on this paper before, and if I mess up, I only want to mess up a little bit in front of people that already know I'm nuts. I do not want to mess up in front of the entire world. So I thought if I'm going to try this, I'll try this with my girls, and then that's going to be fine. So for this card, the card base is basic white, standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a 2 1/4 inch piece of Misty Moonlight. And we're going to put that right down the front of the card. And that is just going to be centered here on the front. Let me stand this card up for a minute and see if I can get this bang on. That looks pretty good to me. Have just a titch of trimming to do at the top edge. And I think I'm just going to do that with scissors. Say hello so I know who's here. I can't tell unless you say something. I see 3 people here right now, and only one of you has spoken. You're lurking in the background. Melanie, there she is. Hello. All right, there is our Misty Moonlight panel down the front. All right, we're just going to set those pieces aside, and we are going to bring in our ink pads. Now, I used Sahara Sand to stamp these images from the Flowers of Friendship bundle. I did this previous to the video, and I wanted to be sure that this was completely dry, because like I said, I'm going to watercolor over this on basic white. If you see on this side, I used it full strength and it's really dark. Here I stamped off and then I stamped it. So this is second generation stamping. Hindsight is I probably could have done third generation, but we'll see how this goes. As I said, I'm doing this in this group for a reason, because this could turn out to be a hot mess. So just be forewarned. All right. I am going to see if I can get some ink to transfer. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this easy on myself. I am just going to take a block and stamp it into the ink pad. All right, and I have got different sized water painters here. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. Maybe this one. I have a plethora of these, and I'm just going to add water here so that I flower. We'll see what this comes out with. This may end up in the garbage. Who knows? I don't know, but we're going to find this out together. Let me get over here, make sure my broadcast is interrupted. Well, my video's still going. All right, I don't know what's happening with my thing here. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm hoping that the video is still going. All right, I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to clean this brush. And we are going to go over and we're going to use some Calypso Coral. An acrylic block and adding some Calypso Coral to it. And I'm trying to get as close to the ends of those, like where the stamping is, as possible. We can come back and add more color if we find it's not enough, or if it's patchy. I'm thinking I'm going to be able to actually add water to the flower. I'm going to go and do that to this flower here. And I'm going to, oops, wow, that's a lot of water. Yeah, it keeps clipping out on me, Melanie. It's Facebook, it's not my end. There's nothing I can do from here, so hopefully it, okay, so this is a lesson to be learned. I just put a drop of water on this flower, and I don't know whether you guys can see it or not. I'm saying don't do it because it's very, very pilly looking, okay? So just continue the way we were doing it by putting the water on the block and picking up small bits. That's going to be a much better method with this cardstock. This is the first time I've actually used a water painter on this new basic white, and I did not know how it was going to react. Alright, I'm going to put a couple of lines in this one to give it a little bit of definition. think it got lost a little bit. And all right, I'm going to clean my brush and go back to the moonlight block. My kids are in Hecla this weekend camping, and I just heard from them they're having a wonderful time out there this weekend. So that's good. Seeing as the kids are going to be going back to school pretty soon, they need to have some of those family vacation times during the summer. And their mom is amazing. She keeps those kids busy all the time. All right. I know that this is probably boring for you guys to watch. If you don't like it, you may leave at any time. I will not be insulted. I just thought it would be kind of fun to try this together to see what it would turn out like. All right, I'm going to go to the Just Jade, which is the color that I chose for the branches. Branches, yeah, well, I guess you could call them branches, stems. And I'm going to have a go at changing some of this so that it looks realistic. But remember, it's still going to be artsy fartsy looking. It's not intended to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I've seen this done so many times, and I thought I'd like to try that. And you never know till you try it, right? And as you can see, that stem got really thick because my brush split. But by using that Sahara sand, it's covering, the inks are covering it quite well. While we're sitting here chit-chatting and coloring, is there any questions that anybody has? Anything you'd like to see? Now is the perfect opportunity to ask them. And please do not be shy. You can ask me anything in here. Well, hello Sylvia, hello Michelle. I just looked up and saw that you guys had joined us. We're trying an artsy fartsy card here today, and we're not sure if it's going to work, but we thought we would try this one together. Now I think the blue flowers, I'm going to need to put some detailing back into them. It's actually quite relaxing. I'm surprised because I was sort of nervous to try this one, which I know it's just paper, but typically I try something before I do a video and flop on my face. But we're winging it today. I have lots that I have to do today. I have some customers coming to pick up, and I have to finish my Quiet Meadow class because I have that going out on Monday to a couple of girls. So I'm going to be busy today. Stuff. As long as my brush doesn't split, I seem to be doing okay here, as I anticipated it would work. And there seems to be a dead spot in that paper right there, of course. So we have a dot in our leaf. All right. We are going to go back to the blue, and we're going to try to add some details in here, because these flowers are pretty flat looking. And I'm no artist, but on a wing and a prayer here, we're trying. Whoops. And as you can tell, if you do one flower and go away, it dries pretty quickly. I actually like when the brush splits when I do the detail work. It's kind of neat. Not quite wet enough here. All right, now we're going to go back, clean our brush, and go back to the Calypso. And I don't know that I have enough left on here. We'll see. Get some details into this flower. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this technique, and you can take it with a grain of salt. Am I glad I've tried this technique? Yes. Absolutely, 100%. I encourage you all to at least give this a go. But, and you know me, I'm blatantly honest. This is for the artsy-fartsy. One of my customers comes to mind when I am doing this, and that's Carol. Carol is very artistic. She likes to do artsy-fartsy things. This technique would be perfect for her. She has the patience of Job. Me, however, I do not. I have the least patience of anybody I know. And that, believe me, that's not a good thing. So, that being said, yes, I'm glad that I tried this technique. Will I do it again? Probably. Anytime soon? Probably not. I'm being honest here. This card takes way too much time for me, and my honest opinion is I could come close to this look. It would be a cleaner look. It wouldn't be as artsy-fartsy, but it would be a cleaner look. But I could come close to this look in way less time with Stampin' Blend alcohol markers. I have the same color markers because all of the alcohol markers come in the same colors as our inks. Tip, always clean your brush when you're done, or it's going to look like this, and it's going to be stained and ugly. So, honest opinion is I'm glad I tried it. Yes, 100%. Will I do it again? Yes, 100%. Will it be soon? No. I encourage you to try it. I encourage you to try it and show me what you've done. So that's my honest opinion on this technique. I've lost the card. There it is over here. I'm going to bring this card base back in. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here. I've got this happening, and I think it looks really good, and this blue really makes it pop. And I've got some blue and some white cardstock here to make a greeting. Once again, I have a punch right here. I don't know whether these will fit in the punch, but I'm going to stamp these and see what happens. I've got thank you for everything, and I have little card, big thanks. All right, so I've got those two greetings, and I'm going to stamp those in Calypso Coral. Stay right in this color scheme. And I'm going to get this back up here in the camera, I promise. And we'll see what this looks like. It just seems to me like a lot of work. It's something that you really need to do when you just want calm, peaceful coloring enjoyment. That's my thought. All right, let's stamp these two greetings. Oh, I never told you guys. Many moons ago, last winter, we had a little kitten here who was the cat from hell. Anyway, in the winter time, my fingers, my rings are all too big in the wintertime and they slide, and I'm scared that I'm going to lose them. So I have a little hook by my bed. Every night I take my rings off and I hang them on this little hook, and then first thing in the morning I put them back on. Well, this cat saw these shiny rings and decided that it was time to play. Well, luckily I caught the little bum, and I took my rings and I put them in a safe place. Well, I haven't seen my rings since winter, until this weekend. I found my rings. So now I feel like I'm dressed again. All right, let's bring this punch in and see if it's going to work. I'm going to have to cut this in half, or I'm going to ruin one of these greetings. That one will just fit, and I mean just. Cutting off a titch of the letter T. Let's try this one. I think we're going to go with this one because I don't like the way that one's cut off. That's just my personal opinion. All right, need a drink. And, oh, I guess we better do the scallop. All right, some glue. Isn't it funny how that calypso goes so well with this Misty Moonlight? Alright, I'm going to put this panel on dimensionals. And I am going to go very heavy with dimensionals. But you'll notice that I'm going to be putting them everywhere, even though there is a panel up the middle. I'm quite sure we're going to be fine. Alright, let's get all these backings off. Alright, onward. Trying to center this top, bottom, side, side. Not too shabby. And now I'm going to put this right down here, cover up those end stems. Oops, it's crooked. Let's get it in the middle as best we can here. Trying to center it on this blue panel as well. And now, my friends, just a couple of little embellishments and we'll be done. Oh, I just had a thought. I have some baker's twine, retired of course, in that same color. And I'm just going through here trying to find my I was thinking these, but they're way different color, those blue gems. So these iridescent pearls might work. I have way too many embellishments in this bucket to look through. I can't even find my rhinestones, basic rhinestones. That's what I'm looking for right at this moment in time. Pearls, there they are. Wow. All right, let's pull these out and have a look. Don't think I like those. I think I'm just going to go with plain old rhinestones. And oh, I'm glad, Carol. Give it a go. I really think you would like it. This has got you written all over it. And if you do, share so everybody can see what you've done. Alright, I have a tiny, and I mean tiny, little bow. I'm just going to put that right there. Get rid of all this stuff. Grab a glue dot. And attach. There we go. Now I'm going to put a smattering of these around and we'll call it a day. 1, 2. I think this card calls for 5. What do you think? just to dress it up. There we go. So there we have our artsy fartsy painted card. Very plain on the inside, but I like how it turned out. I'm happy with it. All right, my friends, have a good week. I will see you on Wednesday, and maybe before, you never know. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.